Do you love coffee, but have you been feeling guilty and thinking that maybe you should give it up for health reasons? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 healthy reasons that you should continue to enjoy your cup of joe. I'm Lynn Vitale, and like many of you, I really love coffee. But I've often considered maybe for health reasons I should give it up. You see in detoxes, you see in certain diets that maybe you should give up your coffee for a while or detoxify yourself from caffeine, or that it's not supposed to be healthy for you. But it was actually a Chinese doctor who said to me when I suggested that maybe I should go off coffee, why? What would be your reason for going off coffee? So I decided to look at it a little bit more holistically. And I even tried and experimented with green tea and black tea and chai and golden milk and yerba mate and other things to see how those felt in my body as alternatives. And in the end, I found that coffee was really what worked for me. And if you refer back to my Ayurvedic minute about coffee, you will understand a little bit more about the energetics of it and how that can support your body in certain ways, especially depending upon how you make it. So let's go into some of the great health benefits, and maybe you'll find a really good reason to keep drinking it. Health benefit number 1, you can reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, this is an epidemiological study, which it's important to know is not the same as clinical studies where you're giving one group coffee for some extended period of time and the other group some kind of a non-coffee placebo, as if you wouldn't know that it wasn't coffee, for some extended period of time. An epidemiological study is looking at a population, and usually you're looking at thousands of people, and you're developing an association. You're saying, you know, if they do this, then typically they do or do not experience that. And really all you can prove is that there may or may not be an association of a particular food or activity relative to disease. And so with this study, they looked at like almost 37,000 people in a study in Singapore, and they looked at their diet over a period of 6 years. They followed them for 6 years. And those people who drank 4 cups of coffee or more actually had 30% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And even in the people who didn't drink 4 cups, but maybe drank 1 or 2, there was still a significant reduction in their risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now, what is 4 cups of coffee? Well, a cup, remember, is 8 ounces, and that's really only about half of a typical mug of coffee. And the interesting thing, too, is that it didn't really matter if it was caffeinated or not. That doesn't seem to be what makes the difference. Really interesting. So, number 2 point that can be really healthy about coffee is that you mobilize fat. What does that mean? So you could be moving fat from areas that you want to lose fat visibly, or you might even be mobilizing fat from an internal organ like out or off of your liver. And that's really important when you look at the risk of liver disease. So again, this was an epidemiological study where they're looking again at thousands of people, and they showed that those who drank coffee regularly over their lifetime, not just started for 4 weeks, but were drinking it pretty regularly over their lifetime, had lower levels of liver enzymes. When those liver enzymes are elevated, they tend to indicate that your liver is struggling, that it's unhealthy, that it may be fatty or heading toward disease in some way. So low levels of those liver enzymes, or normal levels of those liver enzymes, are an indication of liver health. So that's a good thing. Additionally, we know from Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine that something like coffee that has a bitter flavor stimulates bile flow. And in fact, in Ayurvedic medicine, that type of a substance has a term in Sanskrit called lekana, and it means that it's fat scraping. So it could scrape it from your organs, or it could scrape it from your arteries, or it can scrape it from your muscles and your external or peripheral tissues. Point number 3. You can reduce your lifetime risk of developing Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Again, looking at a population over a long period of time, or looking at people in their older years that don't have Parkinson's and Alzheimer's versus those who do, and looking at whether or not they regularly consumed coffee, they've definitely demonstrated in these kinds of epidemiological studies that those who drink several cups of coffee a day, and again, caffeinated or not caffeinated didn't seem to matter, had a lower overall risk of developing Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or other neurodegenerative aging disorders later in life. But they've also started to look at exactly what compounds are in coffee that might be protective for the neurons and prevent this sort of plaquing that happens in the brain. And they've identified certain compounds and studied those in vitro, for example. So that's pretty interesting news for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. But let's look at something that maybe is a little bit more fun, a more fun health benefit of coffee. How about improving your workout? If you are wanting to exercise or you already do exercise, whether you're just kind of dabbling in classes or weightlifting, or you're really dedicated to your power workout or your CrossFit or your endurance training of some kind, it's pretty well demonstrated that caffeine, at least, is really a performance enhancer and an endurance enhancer. You can increase your motivation to work out, your intensity of your workout, and even the duration of that workout. And so people who do endurance, bicycling, endurance, running, they're often taking some sort of a caffeine supplement throughout. But coffee alone, with or without caffeine, still has these health benefits of the antioxidants that are in them. And that is beneficial in your workout by helping to neutralize the oxidation products of energy production, and it also helps you recover afterwards. So before your workout is actually probably the best time for you to have caffeinated coffee, and maybe even coffee with a little bit of sweetener in it, because you're going to go into a workout and you're going to burn that sugar off. So that's a great time to get your luxury coffee in. Point number 5, health benefit number 5 of coffee drinking, is mental alertness and mood. Many studies have shown, obviously, that there's a cognitive improvement. We know that coffee sort of makes us feel like we have a leg up on our friends or our colleagues with our ability to intellectualize or recall information or get our taxes done or fill out our accounting ledger or something like that. It gives this cognitive improvement. In fact, many times I've said, I swear coffee must be a drug, because you feel one way, you drink a cup of coffee, and then you feel completely different and able to handle something very intellectual that otherwise you felt kind of slow and sluggish to do. But if coffee gives you jitters, that will certainly ruin that cognitive effect. It won't allow you to focus at all. So again, caffeine can be part of that mental alertness and that benefit, but it's really not necessarily the case. I do encourage you to experiment with decaffeinated coffee, especially Swiss water or CO2 decaffeinated coffee, and see what health benefits you get even without the caffeine. So to summarize, you can decrease your risk of type 2 diabetes, you can decrease your risk of fatty liver disease or other liver problems, you can decrease your risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's over a lifetime, but you can also improve your workout and the benefit you get from that and recovery, and you can improve your mental alertness and your overall mood using coffee. These are just 5 of the many benefits that coffee might offer. But realize that those benefits can be negated by what you put in the coffee. And I know you don't want to hear this part, because if you love your coffee with cream and sugar or all those flavored creamers or artificial sugar, or you like a mocha or a caramel latte or any of these frou-frou drinks, sorry, I don't mean to judge, but drinks that are really a sugary shake and a dessert and not really coffee, you're probably not going to get the same benefits as when you're able to enjoy just a nice cup of quality black coffee, or use a really quality cream in it, or a really good quality sweetener if that's appropriate to your particular constitution and lifestyle. And black coffee for sure is the most healthy way to enjoy it. There is a time and a place to put your fat in your coffee, to put even a sweetener in the coffee, like I said, maybe before a workout. But typically the health benefits of the coffee are coming from the roasted bean itself. I will have other videos that talk about the different ways to enjoy coffee, the different ways to source coffee. There's also green coffee bean extract. There's also whole coffee fruit concentrate. It is a plant. It is a seed inside of a fruit, and it has more antioxidants than many things that you think are rich in antioxidants. There's many other awesome ways to enjoy coffee. If you don't love coffee already, don't let me push you into drinking it just because I'm telling you there are health benefits. There's so many other things that you can consume, other herbal teas and beverages for health benefits that you don't have to go to coffee for. But if you love coffee and you've been guilting yourself about it and thinking it needed to be removed from your life for some reason, think again. I'm not the only one saying it, and there's plenty of great research to support the health benefits of coffee. I will put links to a lot of these studies below, and please do stay tuned for more videos on how to find quality coffee and my top picks for coffee, as well as an Ayurvedic minute on how coffee affects your health from the Ayurvedic perspective. If you benefited from this video, please like it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss all the new videos coming out on coffee. And until we meet again, live long, live strong, and make a difference.